Hey guys, it's Justice Rob here. We recently went and seen Spider-Man: Homecoming. We've originally had these preoccupations that it was going to come out like an Iron Man 4, but they were able to pull Robert Downey Jr. back a bit and give him a smaller supportive role in this movie, where we focused more on Tom Holland, which was great, made the movie drive forward. Overall, like they did some good casting choices, and the writing for the characters was very well done. The main focus of the movie made a great teenage drama that helps fit it in with movies such as like The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which I think was great for the Marvel Universe because I mean we all love the action of all the Marvel movies, but I think sometimes they lack in background story or like a story that goes along with the action. So I believe, when they did the high school story along with the Marvel action, it did great for this. It was like when they did the Guardians of the Galaxy and added in the family ties element in Volume 2. Uh, you know, as I said, Tom Holland did a great job in this. R2DJ also did a great job coming back as Iron Man, doing a supportive role.
All right.
That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you.
I'm not there yet.
All right, kid. Good luck out there.
Between him and Jon Favreau, they had this mother-father dynamic where Peter would report to Happy, and Happy would be like, "Look, I don't have time for this. Just wait till your father gets home." And he would tell Tony Stark, and then Tony Stark would show up and try to help and correct Spider-Man's behaviors.
Without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
With that, I think that the two roles could have been placed into one, but it was still nice to see Jon Favreau come back as Happy, and R2DJ coming in as Iron Man being the mentor character. The teenagers, where they had Michelle, they had Liz, they had Flash Thompson, and Ned. And I would have to say, the best comedic character and actor in that whole movie, I would have to say, would be Ned.
Can you spit venom?
You have any idea?
No. Can you summon an army of spiders? No, Ned.
Do you know him too?
I can't think of the actor's name right now, but he was so funny being Peter Parker's best friend. He was like one of the best in awkward situations in that movie. There was some of the best lines in the movie as well. Zeldana as Michelle. I mean, at first I was kind of upset with some of her awkward lines, but I realized, thinking back to when I was a teenager and seeing other awkward teenagers just like her, and I thought, okay, yeah, that fits in the teenage motif of this movie.
Can't believe you guys are at this lame party.
You're here too.
Am I?
His love interest with the character Liz was nice to see. I could just focus on a lot of the high school stuff in this because it was done so well. Okay, now on the flip side, with the Marvel action part, we get to finally see what's called damage control, who are the cleanup crew for the Marvel Universe, because it's a common question asked by comic book readers and other people, like, okay, so who cleans up the messes that these heroes and villains create? And so we get an introduction into damage control, and we get to meet Michael Keaton's character, the Vulture. And he's a scrapper. He cleans up the messes, and he loses a contract to damage control in the first of the movie. And so then he takes it upon himself to, scrap some of these, or I should say salvage. Now, with all this tech that Michael Keaton's character, the Vulture, collects, he does come up with new weapons, new prototypes, and also introduces the character of the Shocker.
Bars calling yourself the Shocker. I'm the Shocker. I shock people. What is this, pro wrestling?
And then we also get the wingsuit for Vulture.
The world's changing, boys. It's time we change too.
And it is a bit of a difference in suit dynamics, because the original Vulture had a green suit and looked like more organic wings. But I think, with the adaptation to the MCU, they really upped the game on this one and really did an adaptation for the Vulture that comes down as realistic but also fits within the events of the MCU at this point. And he's a little gang of thugs. And it kind of felt like in the early part of the movie that he was sort of starting his own little group of Sinister Six, but it's not. It didn't lead to that in the movie, so hopefully they save the Sinister Six for later on. Another supporting character in this was Aunt May, played by Marissa Tomei.
What's the matter? Thought you loved larb. It's too larby? Not larby enough. How many times do I have to say larb before you talk to me?
You know I larb you.
There were parts in the movie that she did help out. She was very minor. I mean, I don't know if I would say collectively there was 10 minutes of footage of her, but there was a great climactic scene at the end of the movie involving Aunt May, which is worth seeing. Now, as I said, the story was done really well with the high school students balancing out with the Marvel action. Great. Like anything, you know, there's the Peter Parker, I'm a teenager struggle, which is great about it. And overall, it was a great movie. I also have some fan theory of my own right now, and it's not really a fan theory, it's more what I would love to see happen. Because I think at this point, there is, spoiler, an Iron Spider suit set up near the end of the movie. And I think with that, it does lead into what could be considered a Spider-Man movie. Because as we've seen some of the commercials, even with Donald Glover's character saying that he has a nephew in the area that he's got to look out for, which potentially could be Miles Morales, which would be cool. And then we've seen in, say, the Ultimate Spider animated TV show that Tony Stark gives the Iron Spider suit to Amadeus Cho, who's like a child prodigy, almost exactly like Tony Stark. So what would be neat is if somewhere within the Marvel Universe they found a way for Tony Stark to have more Stark scholarships and bring in more of these Spider-Men, you know, Amadeus Cho, Miles Morales, and give them suits. And then we set up for a Spider-Man movie. And maybe even Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. Which would be really cool to see, you know, 3 Spider-Man, you know, an Iron Spider, a Miles Morales Spider-Man, and Tom Holland's amazing Spider-Man at this point. So to see those 3 Spider-Men working all together, and even they could even work in the Spider Sense, which wasn't something that they talked about in this movie, but I mean, with the tech involved with the Spider-Man suit, there could be a Spider Sense where they could tell when they were in danger, or police radars or whatever, to sort of help Peter and the other Spider-Man to detect crimes or help out to fight the Sinister Six or whoever they might fight in the Spider-Man movie, if it ever came about. But that's just my personal fan theory and my thoughts on what I would love to see with where the Spider-Man movie Spider-Man franchise would go. But that's really all I have to say right now. And, you know, if you get the chance to go see it, that's great. If you just happen to see it when it comes out, probably on Netflix or on satellite, or whichever mode of media you watch, I would say this is worth a watch to see. A great movie, say, for teenagers who love superheroes. And I think that's about all I have to say about this. So, thank you for watching. Go and watch Spider-Man if you get the chance. And thank you, and have a great day. Justice Rob, out.
Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Pick up the crew in the area.